My name is Audryn Swigert, and I am an industrial ingredient broker. My company, Ultra Ingredients, has been in existence for 35 years. I took over Ultra in 2018. One of the exciting journeys that I've been a part of is associated with a certain seasonal beverage that gets a lot of buzz. This particular beverage has its own, well, I guess it's an X account now, a Twitter account. There's a lot of buzz about a certain spice aroma in the air come autumn. Now the onset, I think this year was late July, but a few years ago there was some sort of negative press in the blogosphere around this item that was named for a certain autumnal vegetable that wasn't actually present in the beverage. And I reached out to this Seattle-based company with some options to actually meet that criticism and incorporate our orange round vegetable into the beverage preparation, and got to work with them. What's been most fulfilling about my career, my business, is getting to contribute to enjoyment and happiness in this world, and that is directly through providing the notes and touches and ingredients that deliver better flavor, that deliver more nourishment in the actual applications that I'm working with, but also the excitement of getting to work with an entrepreneur and help them meet their goals, help them find just the right clean label, nutritious, healthy, affordable components to bring their vision to shelves, and then to grow with them is supremely satisfying for me. We work with a range of businesses from huge global food and beverage companies to startups working out of their kitchens. And they're all satisfying because even with those big companies, there are the cultures, the microcultures within them that we're working with, connecting with real individuals. It's the human connection. I love working with product developers because they're right brain, left brain people. They're scientists and artisans. So they're some of the most fascinating people to get into discussions with, not just about food, but about life in general. And I love helping them find just the right tools to move their product from really good into exceptional, extraordinary. I was born in Los Angeles. As a baby, my parents kind of packed up under cover of night and drove me across the country to give me to my father's parents because they were young and things weren't working out. And my mother was intending on leaving to find herself, which she did. She was a WASP from Santa Monica and found herself on a kibbutz in Israel, where she met my stepfather and converted to Orthodox Judaism. She didn't raise me. I was raised by my grandparents in Miami until I was 6 when my grandfather died, and then my grandmother and I moved to Central Florida, where I lived until my summer after 9th grade, when I came out to California for a summer vacation with my mother and my stepdad and other grandparents, and at the end of the summer learned that I was going to be staying in California. Growing up in California, especially after the experience of the childhood in Florida was interesting and definitely gave me a couple different perspectives. I have a little bit of that kind of Southern girl politeness in me. I was calling people ma'am and sir, and to much offense. What 30-year-old does not want to be called ma'am by a 15-year-old. And then coming to California, living in Orange County for my teen years, and then the Bay Area has been incredibly enriching. I am very grateful that I've gotten to grow up in this state that I love. Where I was living in Central Florida was very homogenous, and on the plus side, I wasn't exposed to a lot of racist rhetoric because there was really nobody around to be racist against. But I was hungering for a richer experience that I definitely got. It was kind of a culture shock starting my first semester at Samo High when my previous school had 700 people in it, going to a school where my grade had 3,000 people in it, and getting the opportunity to develop relationships with people who didn't look like me, with people who had different experiences, was what I hungered for and definitely shaped my character early on. I was a little theater nerd kid, so found my people there. I definitely was of the mindset that I would be an actor or I would work at Bob's Big Boy until I died when I was a kid, and lived for it. I was very painfully shy and awkward in my one-on-one interactions, but I could, when I was pretending to be somebody else, really let myself loose. So I very much enjoyed the theater. I was not bad at it in my small ponds. I generally was, pretty good among my peers. I never took it to an arena where I was competing against, a larger pool or anything like that. But it was one of the first things that I felt confident about, and definitely exposed me to an eclectic community of people I related to. All the kids in that group were, in different respects, a little bit, I wouldn't say outcast, just not cutting the mold of the regular popular kid. And I felt much more at home in that circle. I would consider acting again. I think it would be fun. I actually am very excited that a project that I funded is getting additional funding. So I'm going to have an IMDb credit that, I'm feeling like I'm kind of a big deal in the industry now. I'm joking. But I love film. I love well-produced television, of which we have so much. So I'm very much an enthusiastic consumer, and having some association, some involvement with that world is exciting to me. I first learned about Arlan through a friend of mine who was going to an event and told me a little bit of Arlan's story, which really spoke to my heart. I mean, some of the details, the circumstances that Arlan was living in 2015, taking meetings with entrepreneurs, it was exactly the kind of inspiration that is so enriching and powerful for me, because it just serves to prove any ideas or thoughts that I have about limitations that may be constricting me and my abilities to grow my business and to develop my reach, to look into developing other businesses. Arlan's story was the perfect inspiration to just tell me there's really nothing that can't be overcome. I learned first about Arlan's All Access through a friend that had joined, and then had the opportunity to actually connect with Arlan and talk about Inner Circle. And I was completely enervated. I was really taken by the time and attention that this incredibly successful human gave to me individually, and felt like it was an opportunity of a lifetime. I have had a lot of growth in my business in the past year. The past 6 months have been the busiest of my professional life. So my involvement in the community has not been to the extent that I would like it to be, simply because of how busy I've been. This gives me a wonderful opportunity to confront my own perfectionism, because I tend to feel like if I'm not doing it 100%, if I'm not doing it perfectly, that scrap it, I'm whatever, I'm not worthy. And so I continually get to come back and connect with some of my peers in the group and just get reminded it is okay, to come today, watch this video. I really appreciate the kind of go at your own pace experience that we have, and all of the resources and inspiration available, and that it's there for me. It's there for me when I can get a few minutes on a plane. It's there for me to connect with my fellows who are part of the community and reason things out. And most importantly, it's there for me to actually get direct feedback from Arlan, which is an incredible privilege. I am really excited about the text messaging aspect of Inner Circle, because I can actually run things by Arlan real time. I have a lot of decisions to make in the evolution of my business, and I have the opportunity to utilize this extraordinary resource via text message. Obviously, that's an incredible tool in my arsenal that I am going to be using. I think that my assignment in life is to contribute light and joy, and keep my energy clear and bright. So I love working with mission-directed companies. One of my most important partners, their mission statement is to make the world taste better. And I love being a part of that, but it's not just about flavor. It's about making the experience of life more pleasurable. There's so much happening in the world right now that is causing a lot of anxiety and fear and concern, and I am very committed to meeting all of that with a different energy and focusing on what's positive in the world and how I can contribute more light, how I can help more people, how I can propagate love in this world.